Hi, you guys. I'm Eugene. So actually, I have good news. I actually got a music grant from Tiffany Poon's organization, nonprofit, together with Classical. I show the YouTube channel and my featured channels on the bottom of my YouTube channel. So yeah, I'm really happy, and I got it about last month, but it took a little bit of time to get everything organized because I have to mention like what I want to use the money for. Of course, I mentioned that in the application, but then I had some issue where I wanted to use the money for the piano teacher organization, which is the National Federation of Music Clubs, and I sent in my check for the membership fee this time. And actually, the membership period usually goes from July of one year to July of the following year. And since this grant was just recently, so I'm gonna pay for until the period that ends in this July. So I won't, get my full money's worth, but it's still good to join and get acclimated and try to learn what it's like. And they have certain things you have to do. I have to attend a monthly virtual meeting with the other members in the Woodbridge Music Club. And I don't live in Woodbridge, but I live in Prince William County, so I can still go to that one. That's the closest one, I think. And then what else was I gonna say? There's the Woodbridge Music Club, and I'm gonna pay the membership fee, and then hopefully they also have a referral initiative, so I think that'll help me to gain more students. So I'll be able to gain more students, I think, with the referral initiative. And and then I can join. I said I want to join the committee that helps with recitals for guest artists who come to perform, and also for the other piano teachers and for the students recitals. But those are not the main recitals. The main recital is the junior festivals, which is in February usually. And sometimes they've been saying they've been doing it online and maybe a little bit in person because of COVID. So that has affected things. And what else? So yeah, those are some things. And I also am using it for business cards. So I made business cards just with Vistaprint. I used Vistaprint, and I made this nice design using Canva, and also using Vistaprint for just my information, and I have my business cards. So I think that's good to have business cards. I might give one because my next door neighbor, actually, she talked to me and she asked if I have a business card, but I didn't have a business card. I used to have business cards, like I said in the other YouTube video where I mentioned I read all my friends' letters, and one friend's parent had made business cards for me, but I don't know what happened to those. So yeah, these new business cards I have, so I think I'm gonna get them, and then I can maybe give them to my church and to other people. When I have in-person students, I can give the business cards to them. But yeah, so that's something. And then I also, because I had the Studio Ghibli music, it's not cheap. It was $40, and sheet music adds up. So I was able to get reimbursed for some sheet music that I bought recently within the past few months. So I think I have to update, when I say my business expenses, I might have to update that for next year for what I'm using the business expenses for. So because I'm gonna using them for together with Classical. So yeah, those recent sheet music pieces I bought, and also the Chopin new for the prelude and nocturnes I'm learning, and other things I'm gradually learning. But so I used, and also for new sheet music, so I got lots of new sheet music from American composers. I think that from composers that I already know, but they have other music that they've made, like Glenda Austin, Eugenie Rachereau, Mary Leaf, Dennis Alexander, and those other people. But I didn't say, but I think later when I have time, I put on my wish list, on my shopping list thing on Amazon. I want to get Scott Joplin music, because he does ragtime music and it's kind of jazzy. So I want to get Scott Joplin music eventually. So I'll do that just with my own money. I'll buy Scott Joplin. That's something that my friend Lily used to play, and also my friend Kayong Stemmer, who's in my manuscript that I published on my website. Kayong Stemmer she's from South Africa, and she played piano, and she's part of my church organization. So I contacted her to be included in my manuscript through her music testimony. and she played Scott Joplin sometimes, so she knows that. It's really a different genre of music, so it's good to, just like in books, you can like multiple genres of books and you can read them. But of course, sometimes authors and composers, they typically stay with one style of one genre of music or literature. Sometimes that's what people do. Some people are able to write multiple genres. It just depends who you are and what your preference is. And of course, even the classical composers, there's subdivisions within classical music. Like there's like Chopin, there's nocturnes, there's waltzes, there's preludes. So he did other things that are different genres too within classical music. So everything has subdivisions within it. I think that's what makes it so complex, right? So that's what I use it for. And then also for the NFMC bulletin, I use the money for the NFMC bulletin. So that was $15, including the shipping and handling. So that it's from 2020 to 2024. Every 4 years there's a new bulletin. So I'm using the NFMC bullet. I'm gonna get that so I'll know like the levels of difficulty exactly for certain the pieces. I know some of them already because I was in the NFMC like as a student, but like it's good to know like what sheet music is allowed for the festivals. Of course, you can learn any music you want to during the year, but when it gets closer to the festival deadline, then you have to learn like your students have to learn like one choice piece and one required piece. So, and what I usually did was one American composer and then one classical European composer. So I think that's good. And then just some more background information, like the NFMC was founded 100 years before I was born, so in 1898. And the headquarters is in Greenwood, Indiana, on Smith Valley Road. And in 1949, the NFMC was designated by the United Nations as an NGO, non-governmental organization. It was the first music organization associated with the Department of Public Information. So that's about the NFMC. And like there's 3 years to get a trophy. When I was under 18, and it was a golden trophy. But like when you're over 18, if you're still learning piano, if your piano teacher is still with the organization, then you can get a silver trophy. I don't know if the rules are the same. It might be 3 years for the silver trophy too, but I don't know for sure because I was not in that. So with Tiffany Poon, because Tiffany Poon is the founder of the grant, the organization that gave me this grant, the Together with Classical grant, she attended Juilliard before being in college, like before college time. So like in 2011, she did a Juilliard recital. You can see in her playlist on her YouTube channel, like Chopin's Ballad No. 4 in F minor, Opus 52. She also played Ravel, Gaspard de la Nuit, Ondine. I don't know how to say that. So, and some other pieces, 2 other pieces in that year, in 2011. And in 2014, she played 30 minutes of Schumann's Carnaval, Opus 9. She has over 300,000 subscribers. She does a variety of vlogs focused on music. So she attended Juilliard's pre-college division for 8 years, fully funded, according to Wikipedia. And she did the Columbia Juilliard Exchange Program. And in 2016, she won 3rd prize for the 17th International Robert Schumann competition in Germany. And in 2014, she won second prize in the 10th Chopin Golden Ring International competition in Slovenia. So that's a little bit about Tiffany Poon. Yeah, but I'm really glad I was awarded this grant alongside 19 other people. And like they did lots of fundraising for this to be able to give $500 to 20 people. So that's like, I think like $10,000 in total. So they did a lot of fundraising on their YouTube channel. You can see like in some of their videos, because Tiffany does lots of vlogs, but the Together with Classical YouTube channel, it mostly focuses, they do interviews with people who are related with music, whether music therapists, music students, music teachers, music professors, just different types of people related with music. They do lots of interviews, and like I asked them if I could be in an interview, but they said no, but it's okay. Like I don't know, it's okay. But like I wanted to do an interview with Yachan Takashima, but we had an issue where like, because like we were talking about like if our church is gonna start paying us, like if we want to, because she's like a band leader, but she decides the songs. But like I also wanted to be a band leader, and we had some argument about like, oh, like she said like I'm being maybe possibly greedy, and I felt like that was wrong of her to say that. But like it's okay, like I was mostly because I want to help out. Like I could also decide which songs we do, because I know most of the church songs that we do on a routine basis. And also I can maybe print the music occasionally, the sheet music, if the lead sheets, if we had not printed it already, because we only started printing for everyone since like June 2020, June 2021, we've started meeting at the Capital Heavenly Parents Holy Community. So I've been playing for the Capital Heavenly Parents Holy Community since June 2021. But before that, Yach and I were in the Northern Virginia Family Church and in the band. And I started since, I think, my mom told me like we started at the Learning Center in Fairfax since 2012. So I think I've been playing for the church since like 2012. I think I might have been a little bit later. Like usually I was saying since 2013 I've been playing for the church, but it's hard to remember because I didn't have like a resume back then, because like there's no need to have a resume when you're just a freshman in high school. But like I think I did maybe start in 2012, maybe in the fall, I think because my mom said we went there like in the fall of like September 2012. So I might have probably started playing for them early on, I think so. And Yachan probably joined a few years later. So, and she's like a few years younger than me. So, but it's okay. Like I'm friends with Yachan. Like we have a few YouTube videos on my channel. And like, I don't want to have like drama, like whatever. Of course, drama like Real Housewives and like the Kardashians, everything like that's good. Like we should have drama, like spicy. I think we should have some spiciness in our lives, right? And also I want to say like I'm doing better now on Medium, but like of course I'm not making you can make on Medium where writers write articles, and there's publications on Medium that you can gain more following and like more views. It's just, and like you need to have over 100 followers now to get monetized, I think. But I was already like, I joined Medium before that requirement, so I think that's why I was already monetized, because I applied to get monetized before that requirement was instituted. So, but like I'm only getting like a few cents, but like I think I'll get more following, and I have over 100 followers on Medium, so I can definitely have that as another job, like writing once in a while on Medium. So you can, if you want to follow me on Medium, that would help me. But I'm trying to also publish sometimes on Quora. I haven't been posting too much on Quora, just mostly my poems on Quora. But Quora is just, it's like a different style, question answer, whereas Medium is more, people do like self-help and like how to make, business articles, like technology articles, and like whatever they're passionate about, and like and you have more images and different, it's a little bit different. But yeah, Quora, they started recently where you can monetize your posts, and some people might be making some money, but I don't know exactly. You have to get a lot of views, I think, to make money. That's why it wasn't working for me when I tried monetizing like my best answers on Quora. So I transfer some of my Quora writings onto Medium, but I don't do that for everything. Like I want to, of course, make new content and not just regurgitate everything that I've already done, but that's something, right? And yeah, so like, and I think it'll be good because I'll start participating in the piano teacher organization, like I talked about earlier, and I think I'll gain more students. Like I had one student recently, like we were in person, like Ethan, his name was Ethan, and his mom's name is Rose, and I have nothing against them, and like it's like she wanted to do in-person meetings. Like he had done piano practice before, like for a year, or he had done piano practice like a year ago. He was doing for a while piano practice, so he's like intermediate level, but he just, it wasn't working. Like he said, my mom took me the first lesson to his house, and then we did the piano lessons. He's like 14 years old, and then like it was just because I don't drive, so my mom took it was really sad, right? But like she just dropped me off, and then like she was talking with his mom in another room, and we try to figure out his level. I try to figure out his level. Like I brought like 2 bags full of sheet music that I have to like gauge his level, to see where he is. And we started a little bit easier pieces, but then we just ended up doing music that he already had in his possession at his house. So we practiced a little bit, and I think I was explaining things. Because I'm an English major, like I feel like I can explain things well, and like I think I know what I'm talking about. But like, and I could say like what letter are the notes, what letters are the notes, and like different music terms, and like how to play this. And sometimes I played it, and then he could hear how it sounds. But then the second week, my dad took me there, and then like, what happened? Like, I felt like it was mostly going well, and like I gave a gift. My mom made a paper crane, like a Japanese paper crane, you know, those paper origami, and to Ethan's mom as a gift. She made that for her. And Ethan, like we're doing the lessons, but I don't know. And it's good with WyzAnt, my tutoring company, like we can put lesson plans if we need to. And so I can tell them also on the tutoring platform, like what pieces to play, so they can see like what pieces you're supposed to work. And I can mention a little bit about the pieces. So that's what I did. I also talk a little bit about the music with the WyzAnt platform. So that's something that most piano teachers don't do because they don't have the technology to do that kind of thing. So that's why I'm glad I have the WyzAnt tutoring platform. But of course with WyzAnt, they take a percentage. So that's why I really am hoping the students who are referred to me with the piano teacher organization, I hope they can use my referral link. So I'll make sure to use it, not just like, also I tell them to use like the Amazon affiliate marketing links that I put in my videos. I tell them to use the links so that they can buy it. They know which sheet music to buy, but also I can earn like a little bit of money, and there's no harm or penalty with that, like I said before in a different video. But that's something. But also if they can use the referral link, then that can make, so I can keep 100% of my rate instead of 75% of my rate. That would really help me. I think that's something that I can communicate with the students. But yeah, with Ethan, like I also mentioned at the end of the second lesson, like I asked him during the lesson, like, did you practice? And like he said, like, honestly, he didn't practice. He was hanging out with his friends. I know young people today, like they just want to hang out with their friends, and some young people, they go to the gym, and that's great to do exercise. But like if whatever you're doing, like if it deprives you and detracts from like your studies, whether it's piano or church or school, your scholasticism, your monasticism, or your musicianship, like if what you're doing, you have levels of prioritization. So what you prioritize in your life is what you'll succeed at. So if you don't like practice piano, if you don't study for your classes, that's why I always try to help my students to learn better. And so that's something that I hope you all can take to heart. And then, so yeah, I think that's good for this video. So I'm really grateful to have earned the $500 Together with Classical grant. And yeah, I provided the receipts already. I just have to maybe get verification. I can maybe just take a screenshot of the transaction for when this, not the NFMC, National Federation Music Clubs, when the Woodbridge Music Club gets, banks the check. All right, thanks you guys. Also, I wanted to say, like, with what I wanted to use the money for, not just sheet music, but I also wanted, like, for the NFMC, I wanted to use for a few years in advance for the membership costs and the junior counselor fees, which is the fee that piano teachers have to make sure that their students can attend the festival, the junior recital festival every February for February, which is once a year. So you have to pay $32 every year. Then the membership, but because the president said it would work, Dr. Shufet had said it would work, and I talked with Mr. and Mrs. Bailey. They're part of the organization too, but like he said, Dr. Shufet said he talked with people, and that, like, what's it called? The prices might change. So because the prices might change, I can't pay in advance. I can't use it because like the music grant should be used, in a relatively short period of time so that they can make sure you're using it for the right purposes. So I used basically all of it already, but of course the Amazon orders take time. And I'll show like a little video of like my Amazon purchases. I think I forgot to put like one song, the
Super Mario Bros. Song sheet music that I wanted to learn because it's just popular music. But yeah, I do want to learn Scott Joplin music. I can buy that later. I'm getting a lot of sheet music soon. So, and then with my piano student, like, also not just he didn't practice and like that, but like he had given me like a 2-star rating. Like that's what Rose said. Rose said she didn't do that, and he gave me a 2-star. But because he gave me like a 2-star rating, I would have like voided that. Like I would have voided the lesson, and they would have gotten a refund. Would have gotten their money back because like I can't accept like really bad ratings because like we can void the lessons, and then I did that with it but then she changed it, Rose changed it to a 5-star, so that's okay. And she said I should still be compensated for my time, even though they're not continuing with me as their piano teacher. But like, I think one thing was maybe because I mentioned my background, like I mentioned how I did gap years, but I'm done with school, and I mentioned like my sexuality, how I'm gay, and also like my disability, how I have schizophrenia. I have schizophrenia, so that's why I have that YouTube channel on my featured channels, Living Well with Schizophrenia. Lauren is the creator of that channel. Lauren, she has schizophrenia. She mentions a lot about it. And Dr. Tracy Marks, I mentioned on my YouTube channel, she's a doctor, like a psychiatrist. So she talks about mental health a lot. So you can learn more about mental health and about people with disabilities. And I'm sure you know someone with a disability, or if you have a lot of people have disabilities. So even though I said in a different video, like there's a shortage of psychiatrists, but you know, the psychiatrists that do exist, they diagnose like thousands of people in their lifetime. One psychiatrist probably diagnosed like tens of thousands of people in their lifetime. So that kind of thing is what it's like. So you never know. But yeah, so I mentioned about my background. So that might have been a reason why he felt like, oh, I'm not a good teacher. But I think it's good to build rapport, to get to know the piano teacher, just to know a little bit of, I said that during the second lesson. And then yeah, so I felt like maybe that was a reason why he gave me a 2-star rating, because I mentioned about my background. So maybe he was discriminating against me or something, but I don't know exactly what it was. But then Rose, his mom, told me like, oh, he has an uncle who's gay. So that's not the reason. I don't know exactly. If it's just my piano teaching, like I don't know if I talked too much or if I didn't talk enough, if I was not explaining things. Like I'm still learning, like I'm just starting. Like I did piano teaching a little bit before, but not really seriously, with just some church members, and like it wasn't really much. So but like I did like 30-minute lessons for people before in my church. That was something I did for my students, like with Anka's mom, Daniel's brother Nestor, Bryant's sister Grace, Sandra, also known as Anujan, and then Nancy and Leah. Leah was a little bit later. So I taught some people before. Those are students that I had before starting with WyzAnt. And in my high school, I tutored sometimes in honor societies. So that really helped me to get this job also, because I tutored in honor societies. But yeah, with WyzAnt tutoring, like I did other interviews, like with tutor.com and with like tutoring in Fairfax, the company in Fairfax, that's what it's called. But interviews, like online interviews, but like it didn't really work out. And just other like grocery stores, because I used to work at Dollar Tree. So like Wegmans, I did a phone interview with Wegmans, and I did an in-person interview at Burlington Coat Factory. So I did different interviews. So I was definitely looking for jobs. And this was, I think during the pandemic, I was doing this. During the pandemic, and yeah, so a little bit before the pandemic for some of them. And yeah, so that's just some things I wanted to clarify. So I'll segment this in the video, just those things about what I wanted to use the money for, actually for, you know, for more than a few years of membership fees, but that's not possible. So I'm using it more for sheet music and reimbursements for sheet music and other things, and for business cards and bulletin. And yeah, like that situation with that one piano student who I had recently, it's not indicative of everyone because I have a good rating on WyzAnt, but like I have like other piano students who just many times they also just want to take a break, and I just hope I can have dedicated piano students, because I was dedicated with piano. Like I learned from 2009 until 2016, as you can see in my music manuscript on my website. So Thank you. But also like one Muslim girl, she gave me like a 1-star rating, and so I also rated her lesson. She said like, oh, you don't need to do that, but like I gave her resources to help her, but like she wanted help specifically for the Duolingo English exam. She needs to pass the Duolingo English exam, which is a new type of exam that, you know, Duolingo is the language company. I have a referral link in my link tree, but so like the Duolingo, she needed help with that. And like the thing about the Duolingo exam, like usually like with SAT prep and like all those, you know, ACT prep, you can have practice exams and I can work with the students with the practice exams for the test prep. And we can have the screen and like we can see the questions and answers, and then like what I do for my students is like they have to take the test themselves without looking at the answer keys, and then we discuss why the right answers are correct, why the right answers are right, and that's something that will build their skills. But like with the Duolingo exam, there's no like answer key. It's just like a test you take online. But with the Duolingo exam, you have to have your screen. You need to have the webcam on. So because the webcam has to be on for the Duolingo exam, I can't like do the practice exam with her. She lives like an hour away, so she could have maybe come to my house or to the library near my house, and we could have met at the library, and then we could have done the Duolingo exam together. And when I can reserve rooms at the library. So when I tutor at the library, I can reserve the room. I can reserve 2 rooms, like a room for 2 hours twice a week. So I can reserve up to 4 hours a week, 2 hours maximum per time. So like one room for 2 hours in this week, and another room and the room again for 2 hours in a different day of the same week. That's what I can reserve rooms at the library, so I can tutor at the library. But of course, for piano teaching, it's better to be at my house, or like my parents drove me that one time for that one student. But yeah, she's Muslim, and like of course we should be kind to all religions, but like still it's sad. Like she gave me a 1-star rating. Like I felt like she shouldn't have judged me for like just not being able to help her specifically with the Duolingo exam, because we can't take the test together. For the Duolingo exam, there's like a practice exam. There's a practice exam that I could have done with her and shown her, like I knew how the formatting of, like I know like you have to say what is right, like which is not a right word in the Duolingo exam, like focus on the language, and then you say what do you hear. You have to type what you hear. It's that kind of exam, and you type what you hear. You fill in the sentences, what you think is logical. There's a paragraph, and there's some words that are blank. Some words are blank. You have to fill in the blanks of what you think is a logical word, and they give you how many letters are in each word, how many letters. So it's that kind of exam, the Duolingo. So I know the formatting, but she felt like I wasn't helping her. And I can see her name. Let me see before I go. I don't want to say everyone's name. It's good to protect privacy, but just first names, so it's not like their last name. I don't know their last names, so with her, just for I forgot what's her name. Monia. Yeah, her name was Monia. Her name was Monia, and like it's just sad how she gave me a bad rating. I avoided it, and like I didn't get any money from that lesson. That's what happens. Like if people give you bad ratings, like restaurants know, hotels know, lots of companies know, like bad ratings damage businesses, and like it can make businesses go bankrupt. Like I know what I'm doing, but it's just sad because I couldn't help her with that specific exam, the Duolingo exam, because there's no practice test. You have to just take it. You have to use the webcam to take it. So we can't, like, because when we're doing tutoring, we have to be able to see each other. So with the WyzAnt platform, right? So like it's just, or with Zoom. So like you can't see. You can't share your screen for 2 different things. You understand? So I had to, that Muslim girl, Monia did give me a bad rating, and then also what's his name? Ethan had given me a bad rating. So, but Ethan's mom changed it to a 5. So, all right, thanks you guys.